Okay, we have. First of all, question, what function models a $500 investment, 6% interest compounded monthly? And what will the account be worth after 10 years? And what's the doubling time? Well, before we can answer this question or this question, we have to figure out what our exponential function is. Okay, well, a little bit complex, but compound interest, compounding a percent change. Okay, you want to understand what's going on with your money. Some of you might not have a lot of money at this point, you're young. Okay, but as you go on, you want to accumulate money for, you know, future purchases, responsibilities, and retirement. Okay. So. Percent interest. Multiply the principal by 0.06 and then add that to the principal, right? So you have 6% to $500. Here's your calculation. Very straightforward. Everybody knows how to do that. Okay. Now, $1.06 times 500 is 530, right? Why is that? It's because $1.06 is 1 plus 0.06. So when you multiply 1.06 by 500, you multiply 1 by 500, giving you 500, plus 0.06 times 500, which is plus 30. Okay? You need to understand the numbers to really, you know, get some kind of depth of understanding of compound interest. Now you get formulas for compound interest. Formulas don't give you understanding, they do give you results. But you got to use formulas, you just don't understand it. You don't have a feel for it. You don't really comprehend it. And we want to be able to comprehend it. Okay, and this is a model for pretty much any kind of exponential growth. You can model it very similarly. Okay. Well, if you have annual compounding at 6%, multiply. By 1.06 every year. So you get $500 to start. Then you get 1.06 times $500. Then $1.06 times that. Which is 1.06 times 1.06 times $500. What's an easy way to write that? 1.06 squared times $500, right? And then you get 1.06 times that. Okay. Well, that's originally, this is after a year, this is after 2 years, this is after 3 years. So after 2 years, you're going to have 1.06 to the T. Times $500, right? Because every year you multiply by 1.06. You do that T times, you're going to get 1.06 to the T. So the principal as a function of T is $500 times 1.06 to the T. Okay. After 10 years, T equals 10. The principal is T of 10, which is $500 times 1.06 to the 10th. So that's answer the first question. Now, again, I'm ignoring, or I'm doing a different problem, a slightly different problem, because remember this one was supposed to be compounded monthly. We haven't addressed that. This is compounded annually. Still, we're going to get interesting results, okay? Simplest way, it's going to double when it reaches $1,000, right? So you're going to have $500 times 1.06 of T is $1,000. Well, you divide both sides by 500, and you get $1.06 to the T equals 2. So T is log base 1.06 of 2, which is log of 2 divided by the log of 1.06. Now, just to be sure anybody wants to watch a video of this and see it, let me zoom in on that. But There it is. Okay. Here's your solution. Once you have the equation, it gives you principal as a function of time. Now, let's see if I get this one back. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, how does all this change if we're compounding it 12 times a year? Well, it is fairly straightforward to think about it. What's it mean to compound monthly? That means you're going to compound 1/12 of your, you're going to calculate 1/12 of your interest 12 times each year. Okay. And actually, I shouldn't say calculate. I should say you're going to add 1/12 of your interest 12 times a year. Change my word there. Okay, well, (1/12) is 6%, is 6% over 12, which is 0.5% or 0.5%. What's 0.5% means? It means 0.5 per 100. If you divide 0.5 by 100, you get 0.005. Think, you know, half of, well, 1% would be 0.01. We know that. It's very easy to see the 0.5% and make this into 0.05 instead of 0.005. If you think, well, if it was 1%, it'd be 0.01, and half of 0.01 is 0.005, right? 0.005. So multiply by 1.005. Well, times each year. Okay, so after 2 years, let's say in 2 years, multiply by 1.05. How many times? I'm going to ask you to write down your answer to that question. Don't sit there copying what I've written. I want you to answer that as quickly as you can. Give you a couple of minutes to think it through and ponder this. Okay? How many times are we going to do this in 2 years? And then what then is P of T? And P of T equals what? Answer this question first. And see if you can answer this. We're doing this without following the formula, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the video has been doing what it should. Think it's out of focus again. It's doing that. So I don't know if the video has been clear, but hopefully I understand my words so you can go back and read this. Okay. And let me pause the video now. Okay, most of the class is kind of hesitating in this. The answer should be kind of obvious ideally, but nothing's ever ideal. So let's ask a simpler question. And then a sequence of questions. In 1 year, how many times we multiply by 1.005? In 10 years, how many times? In 2 years, how many times? Okay. The essence of this whole development is right here. We add 1/12 interest 12 times each year. That's what it means to compound monthly. So again, see if you can answer the two questions. We'll get some answers. Okay. That's much better. In 1 year, we do this how many times? 12 times, right? Because that's what it says right here. Okay. So 12 times. Answer this question. In 10 years, well, it's obvious. We do it 12 times every year. In 10 years, we're going to do it 120 times, right? I think everybody got that. In 2 years, well, what do? We have a number of years, we multiply it by 12, right? Okay, so that's 12 times 2 years. Okay. Well, P of T is the number of times we do this in 2 years, right? Well, P of T is the principal function we get for 12 years. Now you can look over here, and I can even put this up. See it. And I don't know if the camera's picking up full screen. Pretty close. Let's see. Okay, now I'll take care of the camera. So my question is, maybe someday I'll get used to the fact everything in my screen is backwards. On the screen, something off. Okay, see if you can figure out what P of T is, kind of by maybe imitation with the reasoning we use here. Okay, how do we reason it out here? And what's going to change when we reason it out here? So what was our reasoning over here? Well, after 1 year, we have 1.06 times $500, right? After 2 years, we multiply by 1.06 again. You got 1.06 squared and then so forth. So after 2 years, you want to maybe focus on this statement. And we want to understand why, because of this sequence of steps, right? Just here's how you understand it. Okay, you understand every step here and really understand it, then you'll understand that after 2 years, we have to multiply by 1.06 t times, right? Well, over here, we have to multiply by 1.06 12t times. But it's not 1.06 anymore. It's 1.005, right? So we multiply by 1.005, how many times? We've actually got the 12t, right? We multiply by 1.005 12t times. We get a principal multiplied by 1.005 12t times. Every time we multiply by 1.005, that's another multiplication by 1.005. You do that 12t times, you get 1.005 is 12t. It would be much to your profit to understand this, especially because on the final I might well ask it. Okay? Want to ask you to do this reasoning.